Hi, I'm Michael Estrito, a managing attorney here at Chisholm, and Kilpatrick. I'm here today with Dallas Aguiar, an accredited claims agent. One of the most common questions we hear at CCK Law is what's the difference between a TDIU rating, a 100% combined disability rating, and what's known as permanent and total ratings? So today we're going to explore the key differences in these areas. Dallas, let's set aside permanent and total for a minute. We'll get to it later. But to start, what's the difference between TDIU and a 100% disability rating?
Great. So TDIU is an abbreviation for total disability based on individual unemployability. What can be confusing is that a TDIU rating grants the same monthly compensation as a 100% combined disability rating, but TDIU is different in some pretty significant ways. So, first of all, to get and keep TDIU, the veteran must be unable to secure and maintain substantially gainful employment due to their service connected disabilities. In other words, TDIU requires that you can't get or hold a job. VA monitors wages through the Social Security Administration. So, if VA finds that a veteran who has been awarded TDIU is making more than the federal poverty level in a calendar year, then the veteran could lose their TDIU status. So keep in mind that you can also lose TDIU if your conditions that you're service connected for improve or you no longer meet certain rating requirements.
Yeah, and so speaking of rating requirements and how it relates to TDIU, can you explain the difference between what's known as scheduler and extrascheduler TDIU?
Absolutely. So you don't need to be 100% combined for TDIU, but there are some rating requirements. You need at least one service connected disability rated at 60% or higher, or two or more service connected disabilities with a combined rating of 70% or higher, and one of your disabilities needs to be rated at 40% or higher. But it is possible to get TDIU without meeting these rating requirements, but it could be an unique situation that would be called extrascheduler TDIU.
Right, so it sounds like scheduler TDIU is the most straightforward process, if you will. If a veteran meets those initial threshold rating requirements,
Mhm.
great, that makes the case easier. In our experience, we've seen that. But it doesn't foreclose necessarily the ability to get TDIU because, as you just described, there's the avenue for extrascheduler TDIU when
Right.
a veteran doesn't meet those ratings. So, Dallas, how does TDIU then compare to a 100% combined disability rating?
So, in comparison, 100% rating is much more simple. You need either one service connected condition that is 100% on its own, or you have multiple service connected disabilities that combine to 100% rating. And in this scenario, whether you have one or many, there are no restrictions on working like there are for TDIU.
So, TDIU means your disabilities have made you unemployable, basically,
Mhm.
right? A 100% combined disability rating means your disabilities have combined to a 100% collectively. So then what does permanent and total mean? How does that play into this?
Right. So technically, permanent and total are two different things. A veteran can be one or the other, or they could be both. So permanent means that VA believes a veteran's disability have little to no chance of improvement in their lifetime, and a permanent rating cannot be reduced once it's assigned, or it cannot be easily reduced once assigned. And any rating can be permanent, even a rating that's below 100. Total is the same thing as a 100% rating. So by saying permanent and total, we just mean that you would have a 100% rating that generally, most cases, cannot be reduced. But you could have permanent status even if your rating were below 100%. And you could have a 100% rating that isn't permanent. The one thing that makes permanent and total unique is that there are some benefits kind of at the state and federal level. You'll have to check your state personally, but some benefits are only available to veterans who have this permanent and total status. However, the compensation from the Department of Veterans Affairs is the same as having TDIU or 100% rating.
Yeah, so Dallas, this is really key because we hear from a lot of veterans, right, that are very much interested, obviously, to have their rating locked in, so to
Mhm.
speak, with a permanent and total designation. And that, as you mentioned, can open up a whole host of different state, local benefits, whether it's tax exemption status or other things. And so it's critical. And, if you ever have a question regarding whether your rating is permanent and total, one way to look at that is, or to figure that out, is to look at the rating decision. And oftentimes it will either, maybe make a note that the rating is permanent, or if not, there might be, other benefits granted, such as DEA benefits that might be granted along with the rating, that are only granted if a permanent rating is assigned. And so that's just kind of a quick tip for a veteran to be able to know whether their rating is in fact deemed permanent. Okay, thanks, Dallas. If you'd like to know more about the differences between the various programs we talked about here today, check out our other videos or our blog at cck-law.com. If you're having trouble getting the rating that best reflects your situation, please contact CCK Law for a free case evaluation. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more VA tips and news. As always, take care.